I'm here with Nelly Dillera from the DTI. Good morning, Miss Nelly.
Good morning.
And thank you for joining us. You're from the Department of Trade and Industry, and you're participating here at the Festival of Digital Pilipinas. So, can you tell us what kind of digitalization initiatives does the DTI have currently to accelerate MSME growth?
Actually, we're the training arm of the DTI. So our office is called the Philippine Trade Training Center.
Okay.
So basically, our programs are training. So we're providing training to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Maybe before pandemic, we were offering courses on business aspects like marketing, financial literacy program, operations, market certification programs, human capital development, things like those. These are actually courses that are, I think, or necessary for enterprises to grow. But during the pandemic, and even now, I think digitalization pandemic was actually an impetus to growing faster. The digitalization, how enterprises would embrace digitalization, because if they don't embrace digitalization and technology, I think they will be left behind, something like that. So what we're doing is actually integrate contents. I mean, digitalization or digital tools and technology tools in the contents that we have. For example, if there are entrepreneurs before who are just making use of simple, spreadsheet in tracking their cash flow, monitoring their balances and all that, it's already, making use of the technology, but we wanted them to make it something useful not only to one person but to a lot of persons. So we introduce other application like SharePoint maybe, or Google Docs or things like those. So I think it actually adds productivity and even efficiency on the part of the enterprises.
What about in terms of upskilling the workforce to perhaps, like you said, towards digitalization and for them to be more knowledgeable and to push the country forward to this digital transformation that we're talking about here in this festival? What kind of programs do you have for upskilling workforce?
Okay, so we actually have a lot of tools right now, digital tools, digital technology, and these are software application or even tools that we look for partners so that we can introduce this to MSMEs, because we have always believed that even if we have the hardware and even the software that are useful to the enterprises, but if they do not know how to make use of them, I think it will still be a challenge. So it's actually training and skilling our enterprises in terms of the utilization of this technology. So we kind of integrate the use of digital tools and technology in the courses that we offer. It's not just the the usual training delivery or content delivery that we do, but we make it a point that our enterprises are introduced to certain technology that they can make use of in operating their businesses.
In terms of digital tools, what do you know about blockchain technology? And is this something that the DTI is looking into to perhaps include in your training and upskilling efforts?
The DTI, we're an attached agency of the Department of Trade and Industry, so offering training. But the DTI in particular, the Competitiveness and Innovation Group of the DTI has this pilot factory for AI. Okay, it's actually where all this equipment, software, and even hardware are located, and this is where we wanted companies or manufacturing companies or even companies or even enterprises can pilot or can make use of or learn with actual technology available how to advance also the respective companies. So we also have other projects like, for example, fabrication laboratory or DigiFab is also one area where our enterprises can make use of, like, for example, advanced manufacturing, so additive manufacturing, so making use of, for example, 3D printing, laser cutter, and all that. One particular project that I may be able to cite right now is for the fashion industry. For example, we have a partnership with a particular fashion academy in Manila, and their students are actually making use, for example, of the laser cutter in our Fab Lab to hasten the production, the designing of the fashion products that they have. So everything is actually executed in, computer, the designing and all that. But when they want to implement or see the actual output, we have all those facilities and equipment that can actually be used by students and even trainees.
Okay, so these are all the advanced technologies that you're working on right now with all these projects. Now, beginning of the year at the CTech event of Digital Pilipinas, I spoke to someone from the DTI who did mention that they are pushing for startups around the country in different provinces, startups that are more focused, tech startups. So do you have an update on what's going on with that particular program?
Again, it's under the Competitiveness and Innovations Group. DTI, NEDA, I think the other government agencies, DOST, and even DICT are actually supporting that. But as far as our office is concerned, PTTC, we're we're a trade training center. Our contribution to the Startup Philippines is more on providing them training, entrepreneurship training. I mean, if they've already developed a certain digital tool that can be used by anybody in, the business or anyone, for as long as it's a digital tool, and then they wanted to make use of whatever service or whatever output that they have into a business, that's where we come in. So we teach business modeling, pitching. I think pitching is also very important if they are looking for possible investors to fund their project, things like those, and even IPO, because I think these are, products of intellect. So intellectual property is also something that we are also offering them, and things like that.
So more of entrepreneurial skills. Okay, well, thank you so much, Ms. Nelly, for speaking to us this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm here with the Honorary Consul of Montenegro, Vanessa Pastor-Ledesma. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Claire. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for speaking to us this afternoon. This is the first day of Digital Pilipinas Festival 2023, and you were just in a panel discussion with ambassadors of the Philippines, and it was about why ASEAN matters and the role of governments and businesses and civil society. So tell us about what the panel discussion was all about.
It was a very interesting panel because it was pretty diverse. So we had the ambassador of New Zealand with us, Peter Kell, and we also had the Consul General of Estonia, which we know Estonia is one of the digital leaders when it comes to digitalization. Their country is awesome. It's way ahead, and it's in Eastern Europe. We also had Japan, and we had a representative from Russia, and of course Indonesia. And it was so interesting because listening to the diverse countries, it makes me realize that, Philippines is actually not behind. And interestingly, because of our age, there's so many, every country has advantages and disadvantages. And it makes me realize that, hey, we're not behind. For example, in New Zealand, they're very ahead when it comes to digitalization with their government systems. And earlier, we heard from the secretary, the Undersecretary of DICT, Undersecretary Dave Almerol, where he explained that he's truly laying the foundation of the e-gov system, the e-government system for the Philippines, starting with, the pain points of the Philippines. We line up so long, for example, for government permits, name it, all city permits, even your license, even in airports. He mentioned there are about 5 forms that a tourist has to fill up just to enter the Philippines. But with the system that he's laying, the foundation of all these government offices, everything can be done online. And we're just scanning a barcode. You can just directly enter the Philippines and things like that. And I think it actually blew me away today, moderating and listening to the different countries, the status of their digitalization landscape in their countries. And I said, wow, it's true that what Amor Maclang is projecting, that by 2030, ASEAN, not only ASEAN will be the leader in digitalization, the Philippines will actually be in the forefront of that as the bridgeway to ASEAN digitalization.
Now, based on your panel discussion earlier and listening to I guess they were knowledgeable about their countries in terms of digitalization. So, where do you think is the Philippines right now? Not thinking about the vision and where we want to go, but right now, are we far behind compared to these countries in terms of digitalization? And what do you think are those recommendations that maybe you picked up on from the people you spoke to today?
Actually, I was pleasantly surprised to find out we're actually not so far behind. We're actually very competitive in terms of digitalization transformation. As we all know, the Philippines is the number one cell phone users and contributors with social media, and it actually all starts there. Digitalization actually can start with our mobile phones. Second, the pandemic truly hit us. But what did we do? Our digitalization platforms were so happy. GCash, Paymaya, payment system, bank systems, they were also happy that we were able to transact online. And we were all very happy about it, not just Filipino citizens, but also business persons, business owners, even conservative business owners, even SMEs were very open to digitalization transformation. And with that, I think the Philippines is also very resilient. Give us any problem. We're the type to just like harp on any development transformation. So I think with this move towards this digitalization, our country is very open to everything, to that. We love being on our mobiles. We love payment online. We hate lining up. We hate traffic. So all those are pain points that everybody's trying to address as a country together. So with that, I truly believe in the prediction of Amor Maclang that by 2030, who knows, Philippines can actually not just be a bridgeway to ASEAN for digitalization, but we can actually be in the forefront for that. And one of the reasons I believe that as well is because of our age. Our age, median age of Filipinos are within the millennial age of, is it 17 to 23? That is actually the age when Japan was about to boom, to become a superpower. So I really believe in our country in terms of digitization. I think we easily adapt to it, and we're so open to it.
Yeah, and we have that window of opportunity right now. You mentioned the Philippines being open. So what about being open to new emerging technologies? As like that could maybe streamline government services. I think USEC Almirol was sort of speaking about that earlier. Maybe blockchain, AI. Any talks about that you're hearing? Are they welcoming, and is it an emerging technology that you see in the country?
I think it's actually happening quite fast in terms of AI, digitalization, blockchain. Again, our character and is so open to it that there's actually a group of persons who are actually afraid. Of course, I'm also part of groups such as mothers. Mothers, I'm part of our children's school boards, and there's a hesitation there. You know, there are certain groups that are afraid that it's going too fast. Is education still going to be relevant because of Chat GPT? There's even a Chat GPT for nerds, which can do their homework for them. So, you know, these things are emerging quite fast, actually. So I think we're at the helm of a quick turnaround of super development. That's the way I'm seeing it. But at the same time, globally, in the Philippine landscape, we still have a lot to go. As Dave Almarol mentioned, he's still laying the foundation. And one of the examples that he used was how BGC was developed. It did not become a city overnight. There was a lot of planning. First, even the roads had to be in a certain slope so that there's no flooding, things like that. So he's a very detailed person. So he's taking into account every little thing. So these take time, I believe. So, we're not going to get it overnight, but I believe the attitude, the character of Filipinos in general are just so welcoming and ready for it. But there is a group that's also afraid of the fast-paced turnaround as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it was always good to be cautious.
Correct. Yeah,
Well, thank you so much, Vanessa,
You're
for
welcome.
speaking to us. Great insights.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin wallet, blockchain, stablecoins, MetaNet, the evolution of money. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin today, but what exactly is it? Learn the basics from experts. Learn what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. Blockchain 101, your ultimate guide to the fundamentals of blockchain.